Well, police are investigating after they say a subway rider in Manhattan put a harassing passenger in a headlock, and that passenger later died. Authorities say a 30-year-old was acting erratically and threatening other passengers yesterday on an F train at the Broadway Lafayette station when the 24-year-old stepped in to try to subdue the man. The man who died has 44 prior arrests in the subway system, including violent crimes. Police questioned the 24-year-old but released him, and no charges have been filed.
He was freaked out. He was either going to like pull a gun, a knife, or like.
He said, "I'm willing to die. I'm willing to die. You know, I'm willing to get killed. And I'm willing to die. You know, I'll do anything. I'm willing to die. I'll go to jail. I don't care. I don't care." And he was saying it so loud that everybody turned around. So this young man that's on the floor saying, you know, "Hey, I'm willing to die. You know, I'll do anything. I'm willing to die. I'll go to jail. I don't care. I don't care." And he was saying it so loud that everyone turned around. So this young man, he got belligerent and he tackled him down. The one that just passed away in the brown jacket, the one that just went past. He took him to the ground and gave him a chokehold. Not a hard chokehold, just enough to secure him, and the guy fought. And he kept holding him. All right, and then that's when everybody totally realized what was going on.
Growing tensions in New York City over the death of a subway rider. Protesters swarming the subway station, disrupting service, demanding justice for Jordan Neely. He died after allegedly threatening passengers and being placed in a chokehold by a fellow rider.
This weekend, demonstrators filling subway stations, some jumping on the tracks and blocking incoming trains. Police say they arrested 13 people.
Here in New York, the subway rider who put a homeless man in a fatal chokehold is free on bail tonight after being arrested on a manslaughter charge.
The protests and calls for criminal charges were answered.
So this man, Daniel Penny, stops a man from attacking other passengers, restrains him with other passengers. The guy happens to die, and now he's on trial for manslaughter. But the case isn't going well for the prosecution. Check it out. Okay, so all of you know I've been covering this Daniel Penny case since it started. Now, this is what I'm calling Rittenhouse 2. This is a guy who goes into the train. The person starts acting crazy, threatening to hurt people, saying he'll go back to jail. 3 passengers restrain him, and unfortunately, the guy died from that restraint. But the question is, was this manslaughter or was this self-defense? And that's why the DA's office decided to charge Daniel Penny, to have a jury answer that question.
24-year-old U.S. Marine veteran Daniel Penny arriving at the Manhattan Criminal Courthouse Wednesday for his arraignment on 2 criminal charges in the fatal subway train chokehold death of Jordan Neely. Inside the packed courtroom, Penny pleaded not guilty to second-degree manslaughter and criminally negligent homicide.
So people were actually surprised, black people, Hispanic people, that Penny was actually charged. And the reason why is because this is obviously self-defense. Everyone on that train was scared. The witnesses said it. The cops said it. It seems like it's clear that this was self-defense, and Daniel Penny is essentially a hero with those other 2 men who were holding down Jordan Neely to stop him from attacking people on the train. So people seeing this lawfare start happening against Daniel Penny started sending in money to help his defense fund.
People are showing support for the Marine veteran who placed a subway rider in a deadly chokehold. Daniel Penny's lawyers started a defense fund for their client, and it is getting a lot of donations. We're talking about millions of dollars. Fox 5's Briella Tomasetti joins us with just how much has been raised so far and exactly what that money will be used for. Good morning, Briella.
Good morning to you, Dan. Daniel Penny's lawyers launched that defense fund on Tuesday, and in less than a week, thousands of donors raced to his aid, raising about $1.9 million so far. At one point, there was such a surge in web traffic, the site froze. It even had to be disabled for more than 1 hour.
Okay, so what's the arguments being made on both sides? Well, prosecutors are saying clearly this was excessive force, that Daniel Penny used excessive force in trying to restrain Jordan Neely. And because of that excessive force that was not reasonable, Jordan Neely died, and Daniel Penny should be criminally liable for that. Now, the defense is saying that this was self-defense. Jordan Neely died because Daniel Penny was defending not only himself, but other people on the train. Now, the defense is going to say the force being used was reasonable in that circumstance, and that no one knew he was going to die based on how everything was playing out. And the witnesses will also attest that no one knew that the victim here, Mr. Neely, was in any type of distress or his life was in any danger. That's what the defense is hoping to prove. Now today you get to play juror. We're going to listen to some witness testimony, again conveyed through the media because we can't watch the trial live because New York doesn't allow cameras in the courtroom. We'll see the body cam footage of what people were saying soon as police got to the scene and how their presence and impressions. And then you get to determine if what Daniel Penny does based on the testimony and evidence that you see, was it reasonable or was it unreasonable and therefore manslaughter? So let's go to some of the descriptions by witnesses at the scene.
Before scene video shot by a high school student on the F train shows a new angle of Daniel Penny holding Jordan Neely in a chokehold that May afternoon on the subway. The person who took this video is 19-year-old Yvette Rosario, currently a high school student who lives in the Bronx, but originally from the Dominican Republic. She says Neely got on the train by sticking his hand through the closing doors to hold it open. A prosecutor asked Rosario what Neely said when he got on. He said he was homeless, that he didn't have any money, and he didn't care about going back to jail. Rosario adding that his angry tone made her nervous, so nervous she wanted to pass out. You can see her right hand shaking as she takes this video. She said she was scared and put her head into her friend's chest and only lifted it once she heard the bodies hit the floor. When the train approached the next stop, she got off and began to film and then called 911. The second witness was 59-year-old Juan Alberto Vazquez, a journalist from Mexico. Vazquez testified through a translator, and when asked by the prosecutor, he too recalled that Neely said he was, quote, thirsty, hungry, and something else I understood was that he didn't care going to jail again.
Now, a woman testified that Neely burst into the subway car that day, that he was loud, disturbing, and menacing, and then she used a curse word to describe exactly how scared she was. Then there was a mother of a 5-year-old son who demonstrated how Neely was lunging towards some of the passengers that day. She testified that she has been taking the subway for 30 years and she has seen disturbed people before, but she says Neely was a whole new level. He was erratic, unhinged, and screaming, and that she had to barricade her child behind their baby stroller to protect him. She said that she was relieved when Daniel Penny stepped in. Then there was a man from Brooklyn who testified that he was also terrified of Neely.
So now, along with that witness testimony, we also have body cam footage from the scene where witnesses that just testified, you're going to see them on camera telling police exactly how they felt in the moment.
The train was freaked out. He was either gonna like pull a gun, a knife, or like.
He said, I'm willing to die. I'm willing to die. You know, I'm willing to get killed.
Known as the level 1 central.
The guy in the tan did take him down like very respectfully and just like held him down. He wasn't like
I think that the guy is totally drove down.
These two young ladies right here.
Yeah.
Okay, what did you see?
What did I see? I was sitting over there. I heard the young man that's on the floor saying, you know, hey, I'm willing to die. You know, I'll do anything. I'm willing to die. I'll go to jail. I don't care. I don't care. And he was saying it so loud that everybody turned around. So this young man.
Okay, what did you see?
What did I see? I was sitting over there. I heard the young man that's on the floor saying, you know, hey, I'm willing to die. You know, I'll do anything. I'm willing to die. I'll go to jail. I don't care. I don't care. And he was saying it so loud that everyone turned around. So this young man, he got belligerent and he tackled him down. The one that just passed away in the brown jacket, the one that just went past.
The guy in the brown jacket?
Yeah, you got to see the guy in the brown jacket. Yeah.
This is for the guys in the precinct. You got a brown jacket, tan jacket. Take them to the precinct right now. Take it to the fifth precinct. So he took him to Like he picked him up and threw him on the ground?
Somebody stood up, grabbed him, turned him around, and put him to the ground.
All right.
So now you heard her present sense impression, how she felt immediately after the incident, and that's the woman who also testified in court. Now I'm going to play for you the 911 call that occurred right after they got into the station.
There's a guy in the train saying that he's ready to go to jail. He was going to harm people in the train. So a guy who stepped in, and now he's holding him down, telling him to come quick because something's going to happen. Can I respond this? Hello?
So now, you've heard the witnesses, you heard the 911 call, you've seen the body cam footage. You, I think, have an idea as the juror in this video to make a decision, right? If you're on that train and those people, these were prosecution's witnesses, are saying this guy was angry, aggressive, lunging at people. We thought we were unsafe. You saw the 18-year-old high school student still shaking after everything happened. Was that a situation where people felt that they had to defend themselves? And did Daniel Penny, was he stepping into that role of defending those people on a train? Now remember, it's not just Daniel Penny. It's 3 other people who actually grabbed and held the victim in this case down. Now, why all 3 of them weren't charged? It's obviously because they're the right skin tone, right? The 2 people who weren't charged, who were also holding the victim down while he was allegedly being choked to death, they're not being charged because of their skin tone. So that's a conversation for another day. But the conversation here is, based on the evidence that you hear, is this more likely self-defense or not? Now, you know what? That was not the right question to ask. You know what the right question that the jury is going to have to answer? Would you find Daniel Penny guilty beyond a reasonable doubt? And would you also find that he was not employing self-defense beyond a reasonable doubt in this case? Now, if you have a doubt, if you have a reasonable doubt, then he is not guilty. And based on the witness testimony, the body cam footage, everything that I've seen, matter of fact, the people on the train are calling him a hero, right? That they were afraid for their lives. I would say the prosecution has not convinced me beyond a reasonable doubt. Matter of fact, their witnesses have convinced me the other way. That's how bad it is. But tell me where I'm wrong in the comment section. I always tell you guys, tell me where I'm wrong. If you really think that I'm just off on this one, this to me seems like Rittenhouse too. This is Rittenhouse again. And it's sad because when I was a kid, we used to always hear about the cases where the white guys killed the black kid and nothing happened because it was the old boys club, right? The all white juries, not guilty, not guilty, not guilty. And that happened for all those years, you know, back in the Jim Crow South, right? White people couldn't kill black people because it was like you're less than human. And I remember in school, we were like so shocked by that. Like, wow, who could live in a world like that? And now it seems like we live in a reverse world where the 2 people who are helping Daniel Penny subdue this guy aren't charged because of their skin tone. That's it. That's the reason why they're not charged. That's a horror show to me. This is not justice or how justice is supposed to play out. There's no rationale to say that those 2 men holding his arms and legs while the other guy's choking him wouldn't be charged if this was any other case. If all those 3 of those guys were white, they'd be charged. And that's my issue with this case. Because I think race plays such a big role in this. We have to get revenge for the ills of the past. But this guy, Daniel Penny, he's no slave owner. He's some guy who was in the army and was going to school and trying to make a better life and was confronted with this situation. And I think the DA is trying to kowtow to the mob instead of doing justice, because prosecutions aren't supposed to be about revenge. They're not supposed to be about getting convictions. They're supposed to be about justice. And there's no justice in locking up Daniel Penny. Not with what these witnesses said. But tell me where I'm wrong, because you can convince me. My name is Ed the Lawyer. I'm out. Peace.